What's up, fam? Welcome to Scrum and Hip Hop. When I was cutting my teeth as a Scrum Master, people keep telling me you can't do support and maintenance with Scrum. They'd say, you gotta use Kanban for that. I heard it back in the day, and I still hear it now. But like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, do better. Now, folks say teams can't roll with Scrum because support and maintenance is reactive work. Meanwhile, the rock stars get to build the cool, shiny new things and are told they're empowered to work however they want. In this episode, we're going to blow up the misguided myth that teams can't be down with Scrum if they handle support and maintenance. Now, I don't know where this belief came from, but I know it's possible because I lived it. Way back in the day before I was a Scrum Master, I was a project coordinator for a support and maintenance team. Now you see, the thing is, we rolled with Scrum. We propped up 3 different apps by triaging defects, updating configurations, and managing bug fixes with dev teams and vendors. Scrum always wanted teams to support and maintain what they build. To make it even more explicit, maintenance is called out again in the latest version of the Scrum Guide. But if you have dedicated teams for that and insist they can't use Scrum, I can take a few guesses at some of your practices. You lean on story points, maybe even require them. You use velocity or capacity-based sprint planning, or both. You preload work into sprints. Your definition of commitment is to a set of preloaded work items. Sure, it sounds difficult to pull off maintenance in Scrum when you do it like that, but that's reactive maintenance, meaning fixing things after they're already jacked up. With reactive maintenance, the worst part is you'll likely never take the time to look at what you're doing, change things up, and make improvements. Take what Public Enemy said off their 1998 album, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, on the track, Don't Believe the Hype. Back, caught you looking for the same thing, it's a new thing, check out this I bring. When you're caught looking for the same thing, you haven't changed your way of thinking. The new thing you bring is a mindset shift. It's asking how to prevent defects from happening in the first place. It's flipping it to the lens of preventive maintenance. Think of it like this. Changing the oil in your car every 3,000 miles is preventive maintenance. Spending $20 to $60 for regular oil changes is a hell of a lot cheaper than waiting until things get jacked up and paying up to $2,000 to fix a blown head gasket or up to 4 stacks for a seized up engine. So how do you put it into practice? Well, I'm going to tell you how we did it. Rather than committing to a series of tasks or user stories, we committed to a shared goal, and not something like continuous support and maintenance or technical debt, something meaningful. Something like reduce the occurrence of defects by some number by implementing test-driven development. As long as the goal stayed valid, the collective intelligence of the team stayed focused on solving complex problems instead of mindless heads-down coding. Instead of preloading sprints, we only pulled in a few items during planning. When those items got done during the sprint and capacity became available, we pulled in the next top-ordered item from the product backlog. By doing that, nobody had to juggle what got kicked out versus carried over when priorities changed or talked about scope creep. Yeah, but what if you're doing support tasks like installs, configurations, or working with data extracts? The same still applies. Support teams can commit to a shared goal, pull in new work once capacity becomes available, and manage changes in priority through the product backlog instead of a live sprint. No matter the type of team, Scrum has always been about looking at what you're doing and agreeing to improve on a regular basis. We let a lot of things masquerade as best practice in Scrum when they're really not. You don't have to use story points, you don't have to preload your sprints, and you don't have to believe that teams can't roll with Scrum to tackle support and maintenance. The important bit is to look at what you're doing and regularly improve upon it. The work is complex enough. How we work doesn't need to be complex too. And don't sleep on hip hop. It's more than just beats, samples, and rhymes. Much love for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And stick around for the next episode. This is Scrum and Hip Hop, where Agile meets rhythm and poetry. And I'm out.